Hey everyone, welcome to Youth Bombs. I'm Craig,
I'm Olivia.
I'm David.
and we're the voice of young conservatives in Alachua County. Recently, the University of Florida by UF-YAF hosted Liz Wheeler to speak on abortion. Olivia here set up the event. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so my club, Young Americans for Freedom, we invited Liz Wheeler. She's a podcast host of the Liz Wheeler Show. She's been pretty involved with like Daily Wire stuff, her own independent conservative media. She's been around for a bit. She likes to talk about controversial topics such as like religion and government, individual liberties, rights, LGBT issues, and of course abortion. So we had her come speak about abortion. The title was "Abortion is Murder," and she talked about how to address how we're going to vote about abortion and abortion policies this upcoming November that will like save the most lives of children and the right to life, and how to address abortion with love.
Excellent. Okay. And what was the turnout like? How'd that go?
It was really good. We filled every single seat, so I was really happy about that.
Nice. Excellent. Okay. Was there, say, a Q&A with this?
Yeah, there was. And it was actually super interactive. People asked a bunch of questions about, different types of point of views from the pro-life side to the pro-choice side. They asked her hypothetical questions, what she thought about a specific example of this law that allowed abortion up to this term. And she answered everything in full, and it was really good.
Nice. Sounds like she did a great job.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
David, what did you think of the event?
I thought it was really moving, especially when she started talking about abortion, the process of abortion, and what exactly it does to the living baby inside the womb. I thought that everybody felt that, and I liked how she sort of touched on the emotions, because I know that's something that conservatives usually don't do.
Okay. And what was a big standout moment for you?
A big standout moment was probably when she answered my question about, I was asking about Vance's stance in the VP debate, how he defended his pro-life policies by saying that he was also pro-family and that he was trying to help mothers with unexpected pregnancies. And so she was saying how, the PRC is available, that we should look more into like PRCs and other ways in order to help mothers facing unexpected pregnancies.
Okay, understandable. Olivia, you mentioned that she talked about how to save the most lives and protect the unborn. What was her overall position there, and how did she address it?
She did talk about being like pro-family and pro-protecting the woman too. How pro-life movement hasn't really done the best of job in doing that. They've focused a lot more on, just the abortion term limits. Life begins at conception. You're murdering the child if you have an abortion and whatnot. So she talked a lot about approaching it with like empathy and with education about the issue, which I feel like will save a lot more lives and will, make abortion rates go down over time en masse if people just kind of get educated about that different type of perspective and that different type of approach.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, no, it sounds like she made a good case for the pro-family segment. And
She definitely did.
yeah,
Yeah.
'cause I think a lot of people don't necessarily realize how being pro-life is pro-family and supporting the growth of families, as well as what can be done before and after birth to support those families, the mothers, the fathers, and the child.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So, David, were there any, say, moments where you had like protesters or people who were hostile, and what was that like?
So throughout the week, we've been advertising the event and chalking abortion as murder, and people have been like throwing water on it and destroying our artwork. They also took down our poster, like I think it was like 2 days after we put it or something like that. And right before the event, actually, we had an interaction with some people who were putting water all over our chalk, and they followed us into the event and started talking with the police because they were trying to get the video of them ruining our art removed.
Oh, wow. Okay. So the police came up to them, or, okay.
They tried to come to us, but the police did a good job of making sure that they weren't able to reach us because they seemed hostile and not friendly.
Interesting. I think it's crazy the lengths people will go to defend abortion. And we have to remember that a lot of these people support abortion in the third trimester at 9 months, and some of them aren't even afraid to hide it. So just the fact that how radical they are and they try and point the pro-life position as radical, it's absolutely the other way around.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know particularly if those people like what type of like pro-choice, because it's interesting with the within pro-choice people, they have like varying opinions of when it's like morally correct to have an abortion, when life becomes like what they recognize as a human life. It's definitely immature to ruin other people's chalk and stuff like that. I have to say though that a few people, like, we went up to them, or like other members of the club went up to them and was like, oh, like, why are you like removing our chalk? And they were actually like apologetic, and they said like, sorry about being, I mean, they didn't say like verbatim, but like basically they apologized for it being immature, but they just said, they just want pro-life people to consider a bunch of different perspectives when advertising for anti-abortion stuff, which can be a valid point, especially when you produce like titles like "abortion is murder" and stuff like that. You're kind of implying that the woman who, or a woman who seeks out an abortion is like complicit in a murder, which pro-life people 100% believe. But there's a lot of factors that go into why a woman would have an abortion, and I think the pro-life movement has really failed at has really like failed at acknowledging that.
Okay. How do you think the pro-life movement could do better in that regard?
I think that pro-life people need to recognize that life isn't so black and white. You know what I mean? It's everything in life happens in a gray area. So a woman might choose to get an abortion because the guy that she's with tells her that they have no money and she has to do it, or maybe she comes from a super religious family and made a mistake, and she's going to get disowned and cut off financially and emotionally. There's a lot of different reasons. So the pro-life movement doesn't really recognize that a lot. And I think that they would gain more favor if they did.
But I would say that it's starting to, because JD Vance was also talking about helping with daycare centers, helping mothers afford that for their children. So I think that the pro-life movement is really starting to sort of get involved in helping unexpected mothers in that way. And I also think that them ruining our artwork is wrong, because if they want to actually change minds, then they should settle it through a structured debate or should try to talk to us. But ruining artwork and ruining things that you don't agree with is wrong.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I do agree. Like, I feel like the more that young conservatives come into media, the more they're being like, they're coming up with those different perspectives and addressing like how like a pro-life person should, talk about that, like the daycare or the pro-family approach. So I feel like that will help a lot.
Understandable, yeah, because I think if you're able to persuade minds, then that leads to more victories across the states and the country. So hopefully we can have more of that and more success in winning over hearts and minds. Additionally, though, regarding the erasing of the chalk, are there any penalties for that, or tearing down the signs, or can they just get away with this?
Erasing the chalk, I don't really think you can have anything that's like super tangible that will go that far, because people could just say, "Oh, I just spilled my water bottle." You know what I mean? So, and it's kind of like a tit for tat type thing. When they steal posters, and like we had a banner up that got stolen after like 24 hours. You can file a police report for it being stolen, but it's gonna go like way in the back burner because obviously UFPD has a lot of other things to do. But yeah, you can file a police report for actual like stolen stuff.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it definitely sounds as though there's some really intolerant people. When I was at Suffolk University and doing Turning Point USA, we put up a lot of posters for the events that we hosted, and they kept getting torn down. So what we did was we put the event on the student TV You can't tear down a TV. So that was the
That's
thinking
smart.
there.
Yeah, that's really smart. Yeah, I bet it's worse up north. You know, at least UF, you have a conservative undertone with the students. Yeah.
Exactly. Any final closing thoughts from either of you?
I thought Liz Wheeler did a great job. I really liked what she said. She offered those type of different viewpoints that we were talking about, and people really loved the event.
Excellent. David?
I like how she really leaned into the emotion aspect of it. And also, she got into the logical aspect of it, but conservatives usually don't lean into the emotion aspect of it and talk about just how gruesome the process of abortion really is.
Yeah, certainly a lot of factors there that need to be considered. That being said, thanks everyone so much for watching. We really appreciate it. We upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube and Rumble. And please reach out to us at youthbombs@alachorepublicans.com with any questions, comments, or concerns. Thanks so much.
Take care.